Hello, everybody. Welcome to Northwest Real Estate Entrepreneurs Facebook page. We have another interview here today. We have the one and only Cody Stacy here with us today. Him and I are actually working together, and we're at the Bellwether office here. We also have the one and only Kong Lee here, Mr. Extraordinary. How's it going, Kong?
How are you guys doing? Happy Friday, everyone.
Yes. Before we jump into this, I just want to give a quick shout to Patrick Britton from last night. He did a little investors meetup, and it was really cool. You can look him up on Facebook or find him on our page and talk to him about how you can get involved with that. So I just want to give a quick shout out to him. Nice work, and thank you for doing that. So let's jump right into this. Kong, do you want to start with him?
Yeah, well, Cody here. I met Cody about, three weeks or a month ago. Was that right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Diskin is like, hey, dude, you got to connect with this guy, chat with him. And when you called me about the wholesale deal, dude, you made it too easy because we literally talked about this about 3 weeks or a month ago. And here he is doing his first wholesale deal. So, just like him, I'm super pumped and excited just to share with everyone for those who's, trying to get into the game and trying to get that first deal. Well, let's hear from Cody because he made it easy.
Yeah. So really quickly, Cody and I worked together here at Bellwether, and we had lunch quite a few weeks ago, and he was just kind of talking to me about real estate investing. He showed some interest in stuff like that, and I could see he's really passionate about it. He is hungry to learn about stuff, and so he just kind of jumped in with 2 feet. So we've had a lot of interviews where it's people that have been in the business for a couple of years, 6 years, 8 years, 10 years. Cody, brand new. He's 23? 22. See, 22 and already doing it. So that's awesome. He just jumped in. He just got his first deal done, first wholesale done. And so that's what we want to start with. So Cody, give us a little background to yourself first. Like how'd you kind of get even into this place in the first place?
Yeah. So my name is Cody. I work here at Bellwether, and I got into real estate in last August, I think. It just fit my personality the best way. I love the autonomy, the flexibility, and no cap on how much money I can make. And it's great for my people skills as well. I love people and I love serving people well, and this is just a great outlet for that. And it's so fun.
Yeah,
it's absolutely exhilarating.
The first time I met Cody, I went out and I told him this. I've told him a couple times. He's the kind of guy that once you meet him, literally within like 3 minutes, you already feel like you're his best friend. And he's just like the kind of guy you just are like drawn to because he's so like just personable and just really easy to get along with and just an awesome guy. So.
Man, thanks, Diskin.
Yeah, no problem.
We are best friends.
So let's get right into what kind of got you interested in real estate investing in the first place. So how did you kind of get involved with that part of things?
Well, gosh, hanging out with the man, the myth, the legend, Kong Lee himself.
Absolutely.
Just hearing a bit about his story and what he has been doing in the industry, it was just totally inspiring to me. So, and then, he hit me up after we got coffee for the first time, and he said, hey, do you have a buyer for this kind of house? And I said, totally do. And brought a buyer through, and we're actually closing on that hopefully today. Right, Kong?
That's right. That's correct.
Yep. So, but then I saw what he was doing. And I was like, man, there's no reason why I couldn't be doing that. Why not? Why not me? So I went out there and I found a deal and I did it, and I just closed on that this morning. Yeah.
So let's walk us through the process. How'd you get from starting to closing? What action steps did you take to even get the deal presented to you in the first place?
Yeah.
And all the way to closing.
Yeah. So basically, this house was in the lettered streets here in Bellingham.
Okay.
And it was actually pre-foreclosure. So that's public information. Anybody can see that. And I saw that as an opportunity to, one, help them get out of their situation, and great opportunity for wholesale to happen. Okay. So once I saw this house, man, I became obsessed with it. Totally obsessed with it. Love the house, love the location. I've always wanted to do business in the lettered streets. And so I knocked on his door. No answer. I knocked on his door 3 or 4 times before I even made contact with him. I was that obsessed with this house. Like I wanted this house. I even knocked on all the neighbors' doors.
Asking where he's at.
Asking where he's at. When's he going to come home? Even picked up a buyer lead that way too. So that works. So the 4th time, it's like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like driving through, and I had to stop. So I stopped and finally made contact with him. And I said, hey man, I saw in public information that you're in pre-foreclosure and I would love to help you out. And he kind of got curious and he was like, what do you mean help me out? And then I told him what we would be doing and brought him an offer for how much he owed on the house, and he accepted. And then from there, just found an investor that wanted to flip it, and then just did a quick flip. So I got it under contract on Monday and had it Thursday.
Okay, so you wrote it Cody Stacy and/or assigns, and then 4 days later assigned your interest to somebody else.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. So what made you get to the point of you knew what you were going to offer? So, you know, you're new in the business kind of thing, you know, but you are gaining a lot of knowledge. How do you know even how much to offer and what an investor would pay and that kind of thing?
Right. So basically, because he was pre-foreclosure, I knew the payoff balance. So I knew at least what the minimum price had in order to get the title free and clear. So I already knew that. And of course, I didn't want to pay more than that. And he's in a situation where he has to sell or he's going to get foreclosed on. So I kind of used that to my advantage a little bit. And so I came in there knowing that information, and I offered him enough to get him out of his situation, and he accepted. And that worked out for me as well, because that was a great price for me as a wholesaler. And then I could also assign it for a great price to an investor to flip it. And I got to that number based on, you know, what kind of margins investors would look for a flip. 65% of after repair value, and ran a CMA on the neighborhood and everything like that, and was able to kind of do some backwards math and figure out that
backtrack from
exactly
the final number.
Exactly. And it was a good price, and we brought a buyer through. Shout out to Sarah Cornwell for bringing that buyer.
Sarah.
So yeah, then we had that thing assigned, and he loved it, and we had it going.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, Cody, I remember when we first met, and you know, my whole thing about formal education, and you're like now, you know, the college and becoming an entrepreneur. I mean, what makes you take the entrepreneur route instead of the old, you know, going to college and getting a degree and all that?
Well, school was never really set up for me, and I don't really think it's set up well for an entrepreneur either. I mean, I firmly believe that if you want to go be something or do something, just go be it and go do it. You can't fly if you don't wing it. So I just dove right in and started doing it, and I was learning along the way. Thanks to you, Kong, and Diskin, I was calling Kong probably every day about this deal, trying to, you know, get his advice and stuff like that. And you know, they don't teach this stuff in school.
No,
you know,
not at all.
Right? So you just have to hack it, and I think being an entrepreneur is really wanting something and going after it and getting it. So that's really what I did here.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear with just the drive and passion right there when you were going and knocking on the door physically. A lot of people would be afraid to do that in the first place.
Right. And but that's the mindset that you have to get over. I mean, that's where you know, as real estate investors, we have obstacles, right, where some people stop, and you have to push through those, and that's what really sets you apart, and that's what will make you successful in this business, by just taking that and just running with it and not letting anything stop you.
Let's go through a little bit of the numbers. So just tell us, like, kind of number-wise what you got and that kind of thing, if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, sure. So
just because I think a lot of people, especially people that watch this page, they're like, they have yet to do a deal, or they're maybe thinking what route they want to take and stuff like that. I just want to show them, hey, it's possible for someone who's coming to the business, be hungry, go for it, and get it done within a few weeks, honestly, which is just amazing. And then also, you know, even if you have done something, they just want to see that it's possible to make some money actually too.
Yeah, totally. Just a disclaimer. I mean, this deal started out super great, super smooth. And I just had a feeling that it was too good to be true, and it was. You know, so dealing with pre-foreclosure, I mean, we could see to a point of how much he owed and how much the minimum offer had to be. And that was $200. But he owed like $198,000 or something like that. So I came in and offered him $200,000, and he accepted. But from there, we had to contact the trustee and get the payoff balance in total, which was a lot higher than we expected. So I wrote him an offer for $200,000. We got the payoff amount, and that actually ended up being $212,000.
Oh.
So then we had to adjust the purchase price up to that amount, which significantly cut into my assignment fee. And at that point, we had already got the buyer, and he agreed to pay $220,000 for it. And just out of good ethics and honoring what we agreed on, what he would pay, we kept that price the same, and I just took a smaller assignment fee.
Just to make the deal work.
Just to make the deal work, yeah. And that's what I had to do to honor the seller and still get his home sold, honor the buyer to get him at the price that we agreed on, and I still made some money. So it was a win-win-win. And I got to say, one of the most rewarding parts of this deal was partnering with the seller and getting him out of a situation. That was really, really rewarding for me, and also built a great relationship with the investor that bought the house as well. So we got it under contract at $200,000. We bumped it up to $212,000. He agreed to pay. The buyer paid $220,000, and so that $8,000 is my assignment fee. However, because of the seller's situation, he couldn't cover any of the closing costs or even excise tax or anything like that. So I also had to take that hit as well. So I ended up making at the end of it $3,000, which was fantastic, and I'm totally psyched about that. You know, for a week's worth of work.
I was just gonna say, so tell them how many hours do you think you actually physically spent on this thing?
I've probably spent around 5 or 6 hours working on this deal.
Yeah. So we're looking at $600 an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
To do this, and you know, and great, like you said before, great experience, great knowledge.
Totally.
You know, this is to be able to make $3,000 and still learn a ton.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's something.
Absolutely. We'll consider that $3,000 my tuition.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
For the entrepreneur.
I remember working almost 2 months, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week to make $3,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now you do it within 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
Hey,
and it's so exciting too, because I mean, if this is my first deal and I was able to come out with that $3,000 in my pocket, I mean, my deals are only going to get better. They're only going to get cleaner, and they're only going to get bigger too.
They're only going to get bigger, better from here. And you started relationships too. I think that's huge in the real estate investing world, especially just entrepreneurs in general. Having connections, having those relationships are really big.
Exactly. So exactly.
Kong, any other questions from you?
Well,
I have a couple.
So, I mean, Cody, so, what kind of give somebody that, because I know a lot of people are, wanting to get in, seeing, I remember when I first tried to start, and you made it easy, because it took me about 6 months or so to really do something, and, everything I can, but also too is I know a lot of people, calling me now too is wanting to jump in, but kind of like hesitated, don't know if they can do it or not. So could you share with everyone that is trying to get on board, trying to get into wholesaling or flipping houses, like what makes you saying, hey, let's make this happen?
Yeah. Well, you have to want it. You have to absolutely want it. Anybody can do it. You just have to want to do it, and you have to be obsessed with it, and you have to, I mean, you're going to hit a lot of obstacles, and you have to be in that mindset of, I want this and I don't want anyone else to do it. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the best at it. So you really just have to go out there and chase it and get it. And you can't let anything stop you. I mean, there's going to be a lot of, mental blocks that you're going to have to get through, a lot of disciplines that you're going to have to break. And there's a lot of people out there that say they want it, but not a lot of people out there that actually go and do it. So you have to be a doer. You have to be a go-getter, and you have to get after it. And a lot of people, when they're starting real estate investing or wholesaling or anything like that, they're like, well, I don't have any money. How do I get started, right? And to that, I just say you have to chase the deal and not the budget. If you chase the deal and you find a good deal, somebody's going to partner with you, whether it's a money guy, a private money guy, or you partner with the seller to do some sort of owner contract or something like that. There's a lot of options if you find a good deal.
It's funny how much money will come out of the woodworks if it's actually a good deal.
Exactly.
Right? The numbers work. It's a good deal. It's amazing how much money is really out there for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And as far as wholesaling, I mean, you just have to know what you're doing. You have to go find a qualified seller that wants to sell in an as-is condition and work. And you have to be a good negotiator. Honestly, you have to negotiate terms that are going to match what's going to serve you well, what's going to serve the seller well, and what's going to give you opportunity to also make some money too.
You have to kind of know all phases when being a wholesaler. You might not have to have the money because that's where the other people come in, but you have to know what's a flipper or a someone like that going to pay for this property. Okay, in that case, what do I need to get it at? And that's what Kong's become just a master at. He's such a good negotiator. That's why it serves him really well in that as well.
Oh yeah, master negotiator.
Yes. Hey, so I have 4 questions to finish this off for you.
Go for it.
I'm stealing this from Bigger Pockets, so people have probably heard this before, but I really like it. So first off, books. What books do you think some people should read out there if they want to get into real estate investing or just in general?
Yeah, speaking of Bigger Pockets, Brandon Turner's Rental Property Investing, awesome resource.
Really good one.
Another one just on thinking about investing in general, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Involved in real estate when I was 14. I read that book and that's why I decided I wanted to get into real estate.
Totally. And one that I have read recently that has totally helped my focus, my mindset, and just the way that I do business, my everyday life, and how, you know, I have a goal and how that plays out to every single day and then every hour in that day. Just those disciplines came from a book called 4 Disciplines of Execution. And it's just that. It's just the 4 disciplines of executing your goal.
Good. I've never heard of that one.
That's definitely at the top of the list.
Okay.
That will really sharpen your focus and really give you a system to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. Perfect. Yeah, highly recommend it.
So number 2, you're in an elevator with somebody. They know you're a real estate investor. Cody Stacy, real estate investor that you are now, right? Got 2 deals here soon. They have never done a deal. They don't have any money. They ask you, hey, Cody, what are some things I should do to get started in real estate investing? I have no money. I don't know very much. What should I do? Give them some quick and dirty tips.
Quick and dirty tips. I would definitely say chase the deal and not the budget. Find a good deal out there and somebody's going to jump in.
I love that. I love that little saying right there.
Whether it's a long-term hold, an acquisition, multifamily or something like that, or it's a flip or a wholesale. If you just chase the deal, it's gonna happen. But then a lot of people will be like, well, how do you find the deal, right? And that's actually the hard part.
Yep.
You have to find, you know, I would probably start with an area that you want to work in, right? So I want to work in Bellingham and Bellingham proper neighborhoods, right? So then I'll go through and I'll look at pre-foreclosures, and if the payoff amount is what I like, then I'll move forward and then do the backwards math. Other than that, you just kind of have to. I know bird letters work really, really well. Hey, do you want to sell your house? I'd love to buy it. Here's my contact info. So you have to know where you want to work. You have to be fearless in chasing the deal and not the budget. And you have to want it. You have to just go after it.
Great. Yeah. Perfect. All right. If you're to start this deal over, your very first one, start over in the very beginning. What would we do differently?
I would definitely. I mean, the seller was completely cooperative, which was amazing. But I would probably have him contact the lender very, very first thing to get the payoff amount instead of getting it under contract and then getting the payoff amount. And the reason why I did it that way, this deal, was because the title company told me I had to be under contract to get the payoff authorization from the seller, which seems backwards to me. But I should have just had the seller contact the bank and get the balance, which is a simple thing that I just totally spaced on. But I was just so excited about this deal. I just want to get that contract signed as soon as possible. So definitely would have done that differently, because that would have affected what I would have just sold it for more to give me that room for the money that I wanted to make on this deal. So that's the big one. The second one, I would, gosh, how do I say this? Have a great title rep that you're working with.
That comes in.
That is huge. I had to switch title companies completely because one title company wouldn't because they just didn't know how.
Okay.
So you gotta pick the right people to do the deal with.
And that goes into building your team in the very beginning when you're becoming a real estate investor. Have your team ready to go. So there's tons of stuff out there on how to build a great team. So
exactly.
That's a good one.
Yeah, those are the big ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And last but not least, how can they contact Mr. Cody Stacy?
You guys can call me, email me, text me. My number is 360-519-4028, or you can email me at cody@bellwetherrealestate.com.
Perfect. And on Facebook.
Cody Stacy.
Cody Stacy.
STACY.
Perfect. Anything else, Kong?
Hey, Cody, let's share with everybody, try and give the title company the credit. Which title company that really helps you make this happen?
Chicago Title, all the way. Marlon and Leah Richardson are the best. They totally took it and they ran with it, and they were quintessential in getting this thing closed and ready to go.
I've used Leah pretty much my whole career and love her.
Yeah, she's amazing. You don't need to go anywhere else.
Yeah. So, and I know Cody or Kong does the same.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think when I first did the first couple of deals, we were using First American Title, and you know what? Thanks to Dustin, he told me to go ahead and contact. So Diskin texted me, hey, contact Leah, go out to lunch with them, talk to them. She's great and absolutely been amazing. All my deals has been so smoothly with their help. So I know a lot of investors out there are looking for a friendly title company, and definitely use Chicago Title and contact Leah Richardson at it. I mean, they're absolutely amazing.
Yep.
All
right. Anything else, Con?
Nope, that's it, you guys. Have a great Friday. And Cody, thanks a lot for sharing this with us and all that. Really,
thanks for having me. Love it.
I think people will get stuff out of it. So
awesome.
yeah, happy Friday, everyone.